Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and I am going to give you guys a little bit of a garden tour today. So I have a lot of construction that's going to be going on in the garden just to finish up everything. So that will be in later video. I'll be building a bed today. I'm also going to try making a I'm probably saying this wrong, vermicompost bin. I'm going to try and build it in the garden, so I'll let you guys know where I'm going to be putting that at. Basically a worm bin, just in case that was completely a wrong term that I'm using. Well, let's take a tour of the garden. So this bed is still empty. It is waiting for the heat to go down a little bit. We're finally under 110. But I have everything that's going to go in this bed going on inside, which I'll show you right now. Guys, so I just wanted to do a little quick setup of my indoor plants. Now, way back there is thyme and more thyme and basil. I did heavily seed those because I can easily split those into just smaller sections and grow a couple batches of thyme. So I grow them all together and then I split them afterwards. And then I have some cauliflower there and some cabbage right here. And then some broccoli because we love broccoli, and then Swiss chard. One thing I learned with Swiss chard is that I do not need 27 Swiss chard plants because they produce a lot all the time, and it does so basically about 8 months out of the year here in Arizona. So that's just a little quick setup. I have these lights. I know they're a lot different than everybody else's lights, so it's probably why some of mine are a little bit leggy. So the next big bed is going in today. It's going in right here. Mr. Benson is trying to bend some of the wood to finish the structure out there. So it kind of warped since we had monsoon season. But finally, the next big bed is going in today. So one thing I was really puzzled by was the fact that my basil plant was surviving without shade, without anything, in like temperatures of 100 degrees all the way up to 110. Like, has not died, didn't burn up, didn't do anything. And all I did was water it, and it actually grew a lot. So I feel like next year I'm going to have a whole lot of basil because I love basil. I put basil on everything, and it doesn't grow amazingly during the winter, and I'm not really great at growing it indoors. So I dry a lot of my basil so I can use it throughout the winter. So next year, now that I know that it grows well, I'm going to grow a butt ton of basil. So this is that basil plant I was talking about. As you can see, look at how big these leaves are. And this is just a Genovese basil, and no shade cloth. It's not under anything. And this was one that died off because of the squash plant that was in it during the summer. And it was like almost down to nothing. And I just kind of left it in there just because, I don't know, just to see what happened. And I just watered it, and it grew, and it's continued growing, and it hasn't bolted or anything like that. So we've been enjoying this little basil plant on a lot of our spaghettis and tomatoes and everything. So here I have my rosemary bush. If you guys remember, I had it in a pot over here that I was waiting for this area not to be so bug ridden in order to plant this one. But I've decided that I am going to put something else, maybe radishes or carrots there, and do like a little radish or carrot patch. And then I moved this to a bigger pot so it has more room. So I also moved it out from underneath the shade cloth, and it has been doing a lot well. As you guys can see, it's grown a lot more. So then here is my beloved green bean patch. This is really starting to come along. In the last video, you guys remember I planted some more seeds here. Well, they all popped up and they're starting to come along. And here you will see that we are finally starting to get some vining action. So I cannot wait for these to vine all the way up this trellis. I'm so excited for that, guys. But they're all doing really, really well. All the varieties and all the new ones that I planted. Just got to remember to keep that shade cloth up until it's not like, a million degrees. So one of the other plants I was really surprised that survived the Arizona heat was my eggplant. I did not have my eggplant underneath any type of shade cloth. I put it underneath like closer to the okra plants so that it would get a little bit of just natural shade that way. But it survived and it grew a lot bigger than when I was trying to protect it from the sun, like with a shade cloth or underneath my patio umbrella. So I found that it did stop producing flowers. They dried up and fell off once it reached about 105, but when it got down to 96 for that one day in Arizona, they produced so many flowers and they were so beautiful, and I was so excited because I thought I was going to get eggplant again. But right now I'm just going to leave it. The temperatures are going to go down in probably like another 2 weeks, so I think I can get some eggplant before my first frost, which is, I mean, it's really far in advance. So I think I'm going to survive with the eggplant. And next year I'm also going to plant way more eggplant because now I know how to cook it and that I like it. This year I planted only one because I didn't really know what to do with it. So this is that eggplant. It went from being so small to now it is pretty big. And I have it in a pot and it's doing quite well. The leaves are super green on it and it's really healthy. Like no bug damage, no nothing. So I think next year I'm going to plant a lot more of these. These are the small eggplants. I forgot the name of them and I forgot the tag. This one was a start that I got from Home Depot. So back here, guys, you will see that my little scallop squash is making an appearance. If you guys remember, I have been trying to grow this scallop squash for the longest and I have been unsuccessful at it. So I'm hoping this little guy makes it. I've planted these seeds everywhere and this has been the only one that's popped up so far. So over here we have a question for you guys. These two are squash plants. It is a different type of squash plant. I forgot the name, I'll have to look it up. But they are going to vine up the trellis, but they're coming in a lot quicker and faster and bigger than the straight neck ones. So I'm wondering if this space is too small for both of these, or if I can leave both of them. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and yeah, because I need help with that. So over here, guys, is where I'm going to have my worm compost bin. I'm going through a whole build with it to where the worms are going to be able to go directly from the bin all the way into the garden without having to put them in there and for them to have like their own like little home. So all this is going to get moved and I'm going to build that out, hopefully, and it works. So we'll see. I have some carrots going on in here, so that is now just watered and waiting for the carrots to pop up there. Over here I have the pepper plant. This one is the poblano pepper. This pepper plant has been through the ringer this summer, and somehow it has managed not to get any of the diseases that my other pepper plants got, but it's been growing. It's been not liking the heat. As you guys can see, some of the leaves are very crinkly and curled on here, but I just keep watering it and seeing if one day it'll give me peppers. It is yet to give me any peppers, but it has gotten really, really tall. Over here I have a little cucumber plant that I am hoping will fill this entire space and give me tons of cucumbers. I had two, one got decapitated, so now I only have the one plant, which I think might be better for it anyway. So, the other thing I have going on is that I found free coffee grounds, an abundance of them. So I'm really, really excited. I'm picking some up today, and I'm going to make a video on what I'm doing with them. A lot of people have told me that using wood chips, which I still feel like is a great idea being here in the desert because it holds a lot of water, and I water way less than I think that I probably would have needed to if I didn't have the wood chips. But a lot of people have told me that the wood chips are leaching nitrogen from my soil, which could be true because my leaves on my plants don't get as big as I see some of the other people's leaves on their plants on the different YouTube videos that I watch. So I'm thinking that if I add the coffee grounds to it, I actually watched a video from Gary of the Rustic Gardener of how he kind of added the coffee grounds on top of his mulch wood chips,
and it kind of just released the nitrogen over time. So I'm going to try that out this year with my garden and see how that works. The only thing that's going to make me sad, guys, is that I like for my garden to be all pretty and red. Those are my colors. I like it. So I use redwood chips because I think it looks pretty. So having a bunch of coffee grounds on top of that, it's gonna bug me, but at least I have this big giant red patch. That'll make me happy. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the coffee grounds and the wood chips, and if you guys think it's a good idea. I'm going to head out to Home Depot so I can get the rest of the materials I need for my next planter box, and I'm gonna build a planter box in less than 20 minutes. So stay tuned for that video, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.